Okay, so in this video I'm going to explain how to get 700 hair transplant monthly patients from your ads. So if you're running Google ads, you're running Facebook ads, Meta, Instagram, YouTube, this is how to get 700. Maybe you're getting 2, 3, 4, 500. If you want to get to 700, this is what you need to do. Okay, so the first thing is that you have lead response. So speed matters when someone is actively looking for a transplant. Many people are not taking advantage of speed. They let someone apply and then they get back to them in maybe a few hours, but you need to get back to the person as soon as physically possible. And every inquiry needs to enter the system immediately. So as soon as a person applies, the inquiry needs to go into your system, into your CRM straight away. Also, no lead should depend on one person remembering to reply. So if you have people who are meaning to get back to other people, to prospects, to get them to reply, that's not what you want to do. If you're doing that, then you basically are making a mistake. And the reason you're making a mistake is because you need to have a reminder, you need to have notifications turned on, you need to have everything done correctly so that people are responding in the exact time they're meant to be responding. Next is inquiries from every ad channel need to be accounted for. So every single time you have an ad going out and you have inquiries coming in, you need to make sure you're replying to every single inquiry. If you're not replying to all the inquiries, then people are not being spoken to and sales are being lost. Also, missed inquiries should be treated as lost revenue. So as I said, if you are missing inquiries, then what's going to happen is you are going to miss sales. Okay? And lead qualification is the next. Not every person who clicks an ad is a genuine patient. Just because someone clicked your ad doesn't mean they're a genuine patient. You need to look for the genuine patients in your leads, and the only way you can do that is by opening conversations with them, calling them, having a real conversation with them. And to remember, coordinators need to distinguish serious buyers from researchers and price shoppers. Many people click ads just to get a price, just to get a quote. But you need to be able to, and the coordinators need to be very good at understanding who is just a shopper and who is actually buying. The next thing is patient suitability should be established early. So making sure that someone is going to be a good fit for being a patient, you need to have an understanding as to what that looks like early on, so you don't waste time with inquiries who are basically not suited for the business and not suited to be a patient. High intent inquiries should receive the most attention. People who are genuinely interested should receive the most attention and the best attention. Your calendar should be protected from people who aren't ready. So there's going to be a lot of people who are not ready to buy, a lot of people who are not ready to become patients and not ready for surgery. You don't need to get rid of them or lose them. You need to put them into a different CRM, a different list, so another person can get through to these, can get back to these people in the right time. Number 3 is follow-up. The first conversation shouldn't be the end of the process. So when you have a conversation with someone, you don't want to end it there and just try and get them to pay the deposit. You need to have an ongoing conversation with them as much as humanly possible. Next is patients often need time before committing to surgery. What's going to happen here is if someone's going to come in for surgery, this is not a casual thing. People need time and they need a certain window of time in order to be ready for the hair transplant. So if someone's coming in for this thing, they need at least a couple of weeks to prepare, or they need at least a week to prepare. Old inquiries can become future patients. So you need to remember as well that people have applied or inquired to your business maybe 1 month ago, 3, 5, 6 months, a year ago, and there's a lot of old leads, and these old leads need to be reached out to. If you're not reaching out to the old leads, then then these people are not going to buy from you. They're going to buy from somebody else. So you need to reach out to them either by phone, by SMS, by email, etc., or by WhatsApp. And you need to follow up, and follow-up needs need to be owned by someone on the team. So for someone who is following up all the time, you need to have a team member who's dedicated to just following up only. And every unfinished conversation should have a clear next step. If you don't have a clear next step for the patient or for the inquiry, then it's not going to be good because the person is just going to not know what to do next. You need to give them a next step. You need to give them a next thing to follow. And number 4 is coordinator performance. Your coordinators are responsible for turning demand into revenue. They need a clear ownership of their pipeline, so they need to know exactly who they're dealing with every day, and their performance should be measured by patient outcomes, not just messages sent. So if you have people who are sending messages every single day, you want to look at, yes, are they sending their messages and hitting their numbers every day, but are they getting results? What are the results that are coming in? And this is very important, because if you don't do this, then you're not going to have the results you're looking for. You're not going to get 700 plus patients extra every month because you're not doing this. You need visibility over who is actually working the leads. So you have all these leads, different types of leads, who is reaching out to them, who is calling them, who is WhatsApping them, who is, speaking, having FaceTime with them, for example. This matters. And also, a clinic generating thousands of inquiries need an equal serious patient acquisition team. So if you're generating thousands of inquiries, you need a serious team whose focus is acquiring patients from those inquiries. And consultation, conversion. A booked consultation isn't the same as a patient. Clinics need to understand where consultations are being lost. If you don't understand where the consultations are being lost, you're not going to be able to make up for it. You're not going to be able to put in a system to capture those lost leads. You need to make sure you have those inquiries that are lost and know how to redeem them and how to reactivate them and how to get them back into the system. And you need to the show-up rates need to be monitored. This deposit conversion needs to be tracked. And also the goal is completed surgeries, not a busy calendar. So we're trying to get as many surgeries as possible, not just a busy calendar. And also pipeline visibility. You should know exactly where every lead currently sits. You should know what date to reach out to them. You should know when to reach out to them. You should know what you're reaching out about. You should know if you're reaching out with WhatsApp, with text, with SMS, with call. You should know everything. And no patient should disappear inside WhatsApp conversation. Everybody should be tracked on your CRM. And stale leads should be visible. All the leads who are not replying should be visible. Lost opportunities should be reviewed. And you should understand why you lost the opportunity. You should understand that. Did you say something wrong? Did you say something that did you say something that maybe caused the conversation to end? Or did you maybe follow up with the person too soon? You need to look at why the opportunity was lost. And the clinic should know exactly where revenue is leaking all of the time. And you can only find where revenue is leaking when you analyze the system. And that's what my job is. And scaling capacity. Don't increase ad spend faster than your operation can handle it. More leads expose weak systems very quickly. Your coordinators need enough capacity for increased demand. You need enough capacity for increased demand. So you need to understand how to handle 700 more leads, 700 more inquiries, 700 more patients. You need to understand how to handle them. And also, your follow-up operation needs to scale with your advertising. So the more you increase your advertising, the more your follow-up operation needs to be balanced and parallel and matching with your follow-up with your advertising. So the more advertising you're doing, the more follow-up you need to be doing. And that means better systems, better operations. Okay, so fix the back end first, then pour money into the ads. If you're trying to get another 700 hair transplant patients a month from your ads, then this is what you need to do. If you need more help, check out my other videos. And if you need more help, then book a call with the link in the description.